Good evening and welcome to the show. We are so glad to have you back with us. I have a dynamic show scheduled for you. And I'm going to introduce my first guest. And my first guest is Kat Miller. If you haven't heard this name, I want you to write it down because you're going to be, you're going to be amazed by the things that you hear. Kat Miller is an Army veteran. She retired as a full colonel, so I need to say yes, ma'am, whenever she asks me anything, and we understand how that goes. But she's got a lot to talk about. And Kat is the director of Nevada Department of Veteran Services, and she's got a lot to talk about. So we're going to skip with a lot of things this evening and just go right to Kat and say, Kat, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Dr. Waters.
I'm so glad to have you here. Fred was on last month, and he talked about you at length, and all the people were just waiting for you to come on so they could ask you some questions too, and I'm sure the questions are coming out. But if you answer all the questions, they still may want to call you. Okay. So we're going to put up some contact information for you. But first of all, what do you want to talk about today?
Gosh, Tom, there's just so much, and I'm going to try to narrow it down a little bit. But I think it's important to talk about the legislative session and some of the things that happened that are going to benefit our veterans, and some of the initiatives, some of the things that we're doing that are coming down the pipe.
Okay.
So, and before I do that, though, I just want to thank you so much. When I first came into this job, you know, there's certain people across the state that you want to connect with because they're connected to the community. And clearly in Pahrump, Tom, you're that guy.
Oh, well, thank you.
And so thank you not only for your service as a Vietnam vet, but thank you for what you do for the veterans in Nye County. It's amazing.
I love supporting the veterans, obviously.
So you want me to start?
I want you to start, yes.
Okay, well, let's talk about the legislative session for a second. So as you know, Nevada has a 120-day legislative session every 2 years.
Right.
And there were dozens of veterans bills. Our legislature and the governor, you know, there's always many, many bills put in that support our veterans. At this point, we have 20 bills and resolutions that have been approved, and they run the gamut between bills that support veterans who are homeless, veterans that are at risk of suicide, employment bills, some predatory lending bills that are out there, some education bills, and so this was a really good year for veterans bills. One that I particularly liked was a bill, and there's, you know, I could spend this whole show talking about the bills.
Okay.
But one I liked was one that helped spouses of veterans accelerate their credentialing as teachers in Nevada. So that's going to help spouses not only at Nellis, but of veterans who want to return, people who are serving right now that want to come to Nevada. They don't have to wait to establish residency. Their application goes to the top of the pile. So it's really nice that we're just not looking at the veterans, but we're looking at their families. And there were 2 bills that dealt with the children of veterans.
Okay, those I'm not familiar with. The education bill I am.
Yeah, there were, one established the, you may be aware of the camp out in, well, perhaps you're not. There's a camp that they're doing for at-risk youth.
Okay.
And that's going to be out in the Ely area. But the children of our military who need that type of, I won't call it a boot camp, but the opportunity to maybe just step back a little bit and have that kind of mentorship and get themselves on a path to success. That was a pretty big bill, too. I like that one.
That's fantastic. I was going to ask you the question on it because there are some veterans in our community that tracks a lot of the bills that are going through.
There are.
And I think it's through your office that sets up a website so we can follow those bills more closely.
Yes, and I'd love to take all of the credit for it, but frankly, in 2013, the veterans of Nevada came together and created an umbrella organization called the United Veteran Legislative Council.
Yes.
And they have representatives from many veterans organizations in Nevada or individuals. And they're strong where I'm weak. You know, I can do a lot of organization, but what I can't do is lobby in the way that they can do.
Yes.
And so what happens is, whether it's my bill or it's a bill introduced by another legislator, members of the UVLC, if they think it's important to the veterans community, they go out and start knocking on doors, you know, visiting legislators, making sure they know how important that piece of legislation is. And it's that reason we went from 6 veterans bills in 2012 to 26 during the last legislative session. And so we should all be, as veterans, we should all be very proud of what the UVLC, the United Veteran Legislative Council, is doing.
I like what they're doing, and I just always took for granted it was under your office that they got organized.
Well, we did organize them initially. Okay. My predecessor, Caleb Cage, when he was on board, worked with a gentleman called Caleb Harris and many others to get it organized. And we certainly, yes, sir. And we certainly partner with them and we support them.
Okay.
And we do track the bills and put it on our website. If you just go to Nevada Department of Veterans Service, there's a legislative tab, and so we let the veterans community know what's going on, and we'll be doing a report in September that lays out everything that occurred, and that's on our website too.
Now, because you're talking to the veterans, and veterans, for everything that goes on in a legislature, you should be aware of it when it impacts the veteran community. And so just like Kat said, you can go to her website and click on that and get a lot of information. So what is your website again?
www.veterans.nv.gov. I have to look that up. Oh, help me. Here we go. www.veterans.nv.gov. Thank you so much, Tom.
And it's on the screen, so be sure to write this down because there's so much there. And she does so much for our community, and not just our community, but the entire Nevada community. And when we talk about veterans in need, this is the place to go. Yeah. So, and that's why I wanted, well, Fred was here last month and you're here now because there was just so much information. We couldn't get it all in one show.
There really is. And I will tell you, we just have, the universities are very, very kind to us, and we get a lot of interns. And we just finished a project where interns went across the state to try to find different benefits, opportunities, and services for veterans to update our veterans benefits and services page on our website. So it's really worth a look. And in your community, if you know of a benefit or service that's not on our website, we would love to hear about that. So other veterans and other family members can benefit from that.
Okay.
So please let us know.
Now, is there a way on your website for them to let you know, or should they contact me?
There is. If you go to the website, there's a Contact Us button. There's also a big fat button right in the center that says Ask a VSO. And you can hit that button and it sends an email right to us. And if you have a question regarding a benefit or service, that's helpful. But if you just want to communicate to us, it's going to get to me that way too. So you can look around the website or you can just hit Ask a VSO. And,
okay, so you don't need to contact me. You can go right to the website and contact Kat. Right. And that way you can get an answer.
Or, you know, also, when you're on the website and looking around, there's a tab to become a Nevada Veterans Advocate. And I did want to mention, right now we have just under 500 Nevada Veterans Advocates. And these are men and women. They don't have to be veterans, but they're people who support veterans and want to help connect them with benefits and services. And we do conferences every year. We alternate one in Vegas and one in Reno. Every year we do 2. We did one in Elko last year. But they can also go online and take this course. It's 20 modules, and it's on the most commonly needed or used benefits a veteran might have, everything from survivor benefits to education. They take these 20 online courses. We'll send them a certified diploma, a certificate, and a shirt that says Nevada Veterans Advocate. And the nice thing about that is then they can answer questions of veterans in their communities. They can navigate them to important resources. And the idea is you're sitting in church, your friend sits next to you and says, Joe died and I can't afford to bury him. And you go, wait a minute, wasn't Joe in the Marine Corps? And you know he can do this, this, and this. And we at the Nevada Department of Veterans Services can't be everywhere. We really need these Nevada Veterans Advocates. So we have almost 500 right now throughout the state. And they've quadrupled our workload because they're sending folks to our veteran service officers, but they're also solving problems in their community. So consider being a Nevada Veteran Advocate if you're watching. Boy, we'd sure like to have you be part of it. And even if you don't want to go out and do outreach events, for your own edification, for your own information, it's a really good course to take.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So
I'm sure you'll get some that are going to be contacting you just about that.
I hope so.
And this is what this show is all about, to bring information that you can use. So What about some of our newest veteran memorials and some of the other things?
Ooh, we have three new ones. The first one we have was dedicated on November 11th. It was Nevada's Battle-Born Memorial to Our Fallen. It's the first memorial to our fallen that is a state-level memorial.
Okay.
And so it's on the Capitol, and it lists all 895 of Nevada's fallen. And it is amazing. For those of you that can make it to Carson City, absolutely, we'd love to have you there.
Okay.
There is a new one being dedicated on June 29th. This is a memorial to Gold Star families.
Okay.
And the Gold Star Family Foundation has put this up, and in fact, they're putting it up on the grounds of our new Northern Nevada Veterans Home. And the Gold Star Family Foundation is in the process of finding a location for one in Southern Nevada, in the Las Vegas area.
You know, that would be fantastic. And I say that because I have a Gold Star, since I'm part of a Gold Star family. My kid brother was killed in Vietnam the year before I went over. And it was just kind of a tough time. But I do have the Gold Star flag.
Well, you know, it's our family members probably sacrifice more than anybody.
Yes.
And to acknowledge their loss, their sacrifice, and their contribution to our nation, I think is really important. And Medal of Honor winner Woody Herschel is the one that started this national foundation.
Oh, okay.
And Nevada will be the 36th state to get a memorial to Gold Star family members. And the first one's in the north. It'll be followed shortly by one in the south.
Okay.
The other thing we're trying to do is, it seems like every week I stumble on another memorial to veterans and the military in Nevada. So I've brought somebody onto our team that is scouring the state. We want to find every memorial that's out there, take a picture of it, put a GPS location on it, and put it in our website and create a brochure. So if anybody knows of a memorial to veterans, to military, to family members, we'd love to hear about it, because we want to add that to our Nevada Veterans and Military Memorial page.
And we're going to talk about the Veterans Memorial here in Pahrump. And before she leaves Pahrump, I'm going to get her over so she can see exactly what our memorial looks like.
And I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
so
beautiful.
Wait a minute, didn't you have a women veteran event here a couple years? Wasn't that at the memorial?
Yes, it was.
I have seen it.
And we're going to come back. Welcome back. I want to say again, my guest is Kat Miller. She's the Nevada Department of Veteran Services Director, and she's going to learn a lot about what's going on in Pahrump, but she knows so much about what's going on in Pahrump. But we're going to change her into a Pahrumpian before it's all over. So, but she's here today to enlighten us on so much, and so much is going on, not only around Pahrump, but in our entire veteran community throughout the state. And it's so important that she's here to do that. Veterans Home in Boulder City, did we say anything on that already?
You know, I did want to mention, Tom, that for the fifth year in a row, we've gotten 5 stars at the Veterans Home in Boulder City. And that means it's in the very top percentile of all nursing homes in the country. It's amazing. And, but it's getting, you know, it's 20 years old or so now. And as we just completed building a new veterans home up in northern Nevada, I'm now turning my eye on the home in southern Nevada. And so we've put in for some grants to put in the latest tech, you know, nurse call systems. For example, if you get out of bed, as soon as your foot hits the ground, motion sensors pick it up and send it to a pad that the nurse is holding, and they know you've moved. So that part, but then also the physical appearance of it, so it's more like a home. And some single rooms instead of all being double rooms, expanding the dining facility, expanding the physical therapy. So we've got big plans. Same place. And in fact, I'm looking now at possibly, and this is a possible because there's a lot of hoops to go through, but I'd like to build an adult day medical center on there. And that would allow those veterans whose families are able to care for them in the evening to be dropped off during the day, where they can be at a skilled nursing facility and still get great care and have great fun, you know, and be with comrades, but then go home at night. So we've got a grant that we're working to submit for that. That's several years away, but that would be on the same facility too.
I like that. You know, we've had several people from Pahrump that have been there and lived there. They've passed away now, but it's just the idea that they had a place for them.
Right.
And I think it's just fantastic.
I'm so proud of the staff and everything that they do down there. Yeah. It is a truly wonderful place. And if y'all haven't been down there, you need to go and check it out. We would love to have anybody come and show off. And our veterans that live there are very proud of their facility. If
there's not a veteran here in Pahrump that, I'm going to say in Nye County because this is a Nye County show. So if it's any veteran that has not been there, or a person that supports veterans that have not been there, should definitely go and see what it's all about.
And you know, you were talking about Pahrump. I did want to mention, and I know Fred, one of my deputies, was here on your show recently. During this past legislative session, I talked about some of the bills, but I didn't mention the budget bill. And in the budget bill, we did get approval for 3 new VSOs. One of them, a woman veteran
what
VSO.
What is a VSO?
Veteran Service Officer.
For them.
Really, a Veteran Service Officer is somebody who helps you navigate the system, helps you file federal and state claims, or anything you need to enrich your life. And a lot of times they're just pointing you to other services, but sometimes we offer those direct services. And so we didn't really have a Veteran Service Officer in Pahrump. Miss Brandy Matheny, who works out of here, was actually authorized for Las Vegas, and I sort of scooted that position over here, you know, but I was always holding my breath, you know, as the population grew in Las Vegas and the demand met, I might be told I had to scoot her back. So I was thrilled this year when our legislature and our governor approved a full-time VSO here in Pahrump. So very soon, we will have a full-time position here.
That is fantastic. You know, one of the things that I hear about Brandy, and she's fantastic, she really is she's overworked and she doesn't get to call back and she doesn't get to do this. And I said, guys, first of all, she's only one person. You know, but she's getting calls from everywhere in Southern Nevada. Right. And so now to have a full-time here in Pahrump. Right. Oh, this is just fantastic.
Now, she will be doing some outreach, you know, to Mesquite, not Mesquite, excuse me, Beatty and Tonopah, those sorts of environs. But instead
she's been doing that anyway.
She has been. Yes. But then 2 days a week have been down in Las Vegas. Right. And so now it'll be full-time up here. And then we also got a full-time VSO for Fallon, for those of you familiar with that area. And so we were really thrilled with the budget. Everything we asked for and a little bit more we got out of this legislative session.
And we can do something with the next legislative session in 2 years.
You know, and what's really helpful is if people let us know where they see the need. Yeah. Honestly, so much has been done during the last 4 legislative sessions. I wonder what we should be pushing.
We're not going to run out of things to do.
We probably won't, but if people don't let us know what they are, we can't tee them up. So let us know.
That's correct.
Let us know what you think your state needs to do for you. Because that's the only way it gets put into a bill.
Hey, I love it. I love it. Okay. I know you've got so many other things you want to talk about. So
there's a couple that I'd really like to share with you.
What is that?
So let's talk about our cemeteries. For those of you that have been down, and I know you've been down to our cemetery down in Boulder City, the Northern Nevada State Veterans Memorial Cemetery. It's big. We have, you know, almost 50,000 people interred there. Yes. And sometimes it's hard to find your loved one. So we have a project right now where we have drones that are flying over and GPS locating all of our sites. And then that will be pinpointed to the plot. You'll be able to pull up your phone, pull up an app, put your loved one's name in, and go directly to them. And it will also have a place where biographical data could be put in about the period of time they served. So if a school goes to visit and they see World War II, they can learn a little bit about that.
Fantastic.
And we'll be working with families to find out what they would like to put on the site. If we can't reach the family, it'll just be the name of the person and the information we have, the public record information. But there's an opportunity for them to share what they loved about that person who's interred there. So we're doing that at both the cemeteries. It'll take a little while, but no more will people have to try to stumble around and where are they. Of course, you're going to have to use that smartphone and learn how to use it and to make it out there. So we're excited about that.
I know when I've been out there and had to look for a certain site, it's easy to find once you know the section you should be in.
Right, but if somebody's coming from out of town, and it can be very frustrating.
It can be
for
very
folks.
frustrating.
And
will any of this be tied to the new app that you have?
Yes, it will, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
So we do have a new app that we're rolling out that makes it very easy to research benefits and services in your area. And our website, we're working, that should roll out in a few months too, where right now you look at the benefits and services page and you have to see where it is. It'll have a map and you'll be able to hit your county, and so it'll be a geographical as far as benefits and services. So this is the year. You know, every year we sort of have a focus. Last year the focus was on honoring veterans, and we do that every year, but we really wanted to take a strategic look at how we did that. The year before it was outreach. This year is information technology and how we can use information technology to enhance our support to veterans. So we're doing increased use of video teleconferencing, so veterans can call in from their homes. Video teleconferencing at our prisons and jails, so those veterans can get integrated back into their homes when they get released. At the nursing homes, the new technologies that help reduce falls and other things through use of motion sensors. And so I'm pretty excited about it. But if you want to take a look at what we've been doing on our website, under the Home tab, it shows our annual reports. And so you can go and take a look at our annual report. Oh, in fact, I brought one with me. This is this year's annual report. And this, I know you probably can't see it there. There we go. The annual report for this year was on honoring every veteran, every generation, because that was our theme. And you can see that on our website. And next year's, like I said, will be focused on IT. So that's pretty exciting for me. And I just covered my information, but that's okay, because I know exactly everything that I want to say.
But you had some pictures that you wanted to show
I did.
Let's go ahead and get into that.
Yeah. You know, can we pull up the memorial for the Gold Star Family Memorial? Oh, there you go. This is the memorial that I was talking about earlier that's going to be dedicated on 29 June up in northern Nevada, and that the one at the Gold Star Family Foundation is working with various folks in southern Nevada to put one down here south. And there's also, on the back of that, there's some quotes and some etchings, and it's just a beautiful monument.
Will that be at the cemetery?
No, well, I don't think so. I think it's going to be in Las Vegas, and you know, I don't want to get out in front of the foundation. They've narrowed it down to a couple of different locations, but we'll be sure to let you know when they have the location for that.
That'll be fantastic.
So
there's so many that just want to see something like that. And it would be something else they could show off to their visiting friends and family.
Exactly.
That come to Las Vegas.
Well, and once we get at the end of this year, we'll have our tab on our website that shows all of the veterans and military memorials in the state of Nevada.
Outstanding.
So, we also have some pictures of our new Northern Nevada Veterans Home. So we got our first resident on June 3rd, 99-year-old, 99-year young World War II nurse.
And this is what it looks like.
So it's a 96-bed facility, and it has 3 neighborhoods. And this is the front entrance that you're looking at right now with the Table of Nevada. I didn't like the table that they originally designed. It was like this white round table, and I said, I want a table that screams Nevada. So
that screams Nevada.
Yeah, this is the Eagle Sports Bar. So, you know, this is not your grandpa's nursing home.
That's true.
We have a coffee shop, we have a sports bar, we have a town hall. You know, if you can't leave easily, we want to make sure that it's a vibrant place where you can have destinations. And, you know, not everybody can or should drink alcohol if they're under a doctor's care.
That's true.
But if your condition allows you to, why not? You're not a child, you know? And so we're very excited about the new home. And again, as I looked at it and I looked at all the incredible things, I'm thinking, Now we're gonna have to step back because the vets in Southern Nevada are gonna be saying, wait a minute.
That's right.
So we're gonna bring that one up to speed.
Absolutely.
The other thing I wanted to mention to you that I'm pretty excited about is our Patriot Employer Program.
Okay.
You know, we get a lot of calls every week from employers, and they don't say, why should I hire a vet? They say, where do I go to hire a vet?
Okay.
How do I hire a veteran? So we've created an online course called the Patriot Employer Program, and you can go to our website again and see that information. And it tells them where they can go to find veterans. It also tells them about some of the federal and state tax exemptions they get for hiring veterans.
Oh, fantastic.
And then once they take the course, or if it's a big organization, they can have their human resources person take the course. They'll get a certificate that's actually signed by the governor and to hang at their place of business, Patriot Employer Certificate, and a decal that can go into their business, you know, the window that says they're a Patriot Employer.
Okay.
And we have Patriot Employers across the state. And we just like to get as many per-ump employers as possible. Let's make the governor sign a whole bunch of these.
That sounds good.
So just go to our website. It's not a hard course to take, but really the intention is so they know not only how to hire a veteran, but how to retain them.
Yes.
How is it helpful to keep
Kat,
veterans?
I'm going to have to say thanks for being on the show, and
Thank
come back
you.
and join us.
Okay.